Perfect. Okay. So, by the way, Susie wanted to give her, we're going to change a little bit the order of the agenda before going to the discussion of the strategies. So, Susie, you wanted to give us the update on the Tubman
Yeah,
statue?
just really quick. I talked to Mary Lou in Newburgh, and the union that was the local iron workers union, 417. So I have contacted them to see if they might help us, since they know the drill.
So to speak.
Pardon me?
So to speak.
So to
It's the
speak.
drill.
But bum. What they did was they had a flatbed, an open flatbed truck, and they moved the sculpture to the location, and then the iron workers had a forklift. There are, in what was underneath the sculpture, they could put the forklift and then move it to the spot. What she suggested, I know, Ward, you were really excited to have like a 6-foot high platform, but she really recommended the platform that they had was, she said, about 4 or 5 inches tall. The reason being is that people gravitated to the sculpture. Little kids hung on her legs. They sat there. They put flowers at her feet. They said it was really, she felt it was really important to have the people interact with her. She said the joys of seeing people like with the sculpture, and Wesley, who is the artist, is really adamant about having people, he wants fingerprints on it. He wants people to touch it. He wants people to be able to, interact with it. So, I think we might want to consider that rather than, having it be up in the air.
I think we should consider having it higher than 4 to 6 inches, because in Newburgh, it was in the center of a plaza. There was nothing obstructing the sculpture. And, in Kingston, if we do it on Broadway, it depends where it's going to be, but if we do it on Broadway, it's going to be a parked car that's going to be in front of the sculpture. And given that I can't say that we have a ton of street traffic in that site in Midtown. We do have street traffic, but it's not the same sort of thing. It's not like families are coming out to play.
Maybe then we should think about the library, because that is much more of a pedestrian friendly kind of family place.
Well, we've already sent the contract, so, and it's at Deep Listening Space.
At the Deep Listening Plaza. But I agree with
I would say even if we did 24 inches or 36 inches, it would be better than 4 or 5 inches, given I want people to see it when they drive by.
Well, if it was like 20, what you're saying, that's still accessible, right? 3 feet,
Yeah.
people can still intermingle with the statue. It's not like it's up in the air. So maybe that's a good compromise.
Well, and I don't think we have to make the decision now. All I'm saying is that is what, that's what she recommended.
Sure.
Also, I sent you guys the list of organizations. Feel free to add to it. It's just what my thoughts were in terms of, and if you get a chance to look at the installation, the video that Mary Lou sent, oh my God, I was sitting in my office sobbing while I was watching it. She said that the installation part of it was very not somber, but it was more kind of just more quiet. They had gospel singers and they marched down the street, and it was, but then the following week they had a real big blowout where there was a big kind of festival around it, and they created a year-long program with music performances, book clubs, would meet with Harriet They would, like gather around her and talk about, they had a local history scavenger hunt. The plaza was painted with a quilt of slave patterns. They had a series of bridge talks. And even after the sculpture left, they're still doing programming around it. So, she's available. She's lovely. She's available if we want to bounce ideas off of her, say, did this work? Did that work? She's more than happy to help us out. And then, yeah, as I said, we did send the contract to Odyssey. She's very excited to work with us. So we're on our way. And so when I do leave the commission at some point, undisclosed yet, I would like to, I would take this on as, I would like to be on the advisory committee. And, this would kind of be my baby for the next year.
How wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's my,
That's a wonderful,
Great.
Susie. Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you,
right.
Susie. And anyway, I have to tell you guys that are in the advisory committee or that are thinking of joining the advisory committee, you're going to be pretty active at least for another year. So don't think that if you go to the advisory committee, you're going to be like more free. But that's good. Thank you, Susie. So, so I get that for the next meeting, we will discuss a little bit more about the statute too. So the next point, oh, Susie, don't leave, please. Susie, oh my gosh. Well, at least she didn't close the meeting, but Susie. Okay, guys, our next point in the agenda has to do with the, I don't know if we will have time to have this discussion, but before we jump into that, I'm going to skip also to the relief of the COVID relief funding. Just a brief update. They are still having conversations in where the funds are going to go. The people, the consultant for the, what's the name, the thing, ARPA, yeah, the American Rescue Plan Act. They are very aware of the master plan. I was part of one of the meeting and I tried to really push the guy asked what part of the master plan was a priority. So I don't remember if, yeah, you were, some of you were in that meeting, I guess. So I remember telling the guy that the full plan was a priority. But in any case, I think that one of the initiatives that we could start right away was the campaign that we proposed about diversity and inclusion. So it will be great if we can have funds for that. But I told the guy, but put the entire master plan there. So that doesn't mean that that's going to happen, but because they are still collecting information and feedback from the community. If you haven't done so, please go to Engage Kingston, click on the American Rescue Plan Act and give your feedback and try to push as much as you can for the fundings to go to to any initiative that you consider is important for the city of Kingston, of course, but for our master plan or different objectives in the master plan, I think it will be a good opportunity for us to kick it off. So that's the only thing that I wanted to tell you, because they expect to have the draft on December. So it will go to the Common Council for approval pretty much at the same time as the master plan. So it seemed to me that the two plans are going to be, if it's not in the same session, very close to one another. So it will be also a good opportunity to have that fresh in their mind. Yeah, I don't know if you have any comment to do about that so far.
Do you know what the date is for the December meeting of the Common Council? Because we should be there.
No, they will do it by January. On December, the consultant is going to have the draft or their plan.
I'm sorry, I'm actually talking about the approval of the master plan. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, no, the master plan is not gonna be discussed this year. Apparently, it's gonna be or January or February.
I thought that we had decided that, so great, okay.
Yeah, because remember that there are new members coming?
Exactly. I remember we had a whole conversation about wooing new members, making sure that they understood the plan and getting their votes ahead of time and
Exactly.
packing the
The
votes.
thing-
Okay, great.
Yeah, the thing is that the city is right now doing like a lot of things, and it seems that those first meetings of the year are gonna be very busy. So we have the ARPA, we have the master plan. I'm not sure about the rezoning of Kingston, if it's gonna be in the same packet, but everything is happening at the same time. So it's gonna, we may need to be really, really making some noise there, but don't forget to go to the Engage Kingston website to leave your feedback there. Okay, so we have 15 minutes left. And the last point on the agenda was a preliminary discussion of the strategies of the commission and the goals for the master plan.
Can I ask
sure.
if we just talk about one thing really quickly before we move into that larger discussion? I just want to make sure that we've properly followed up with everybody who applied to be on the Arts Commission. I just want to make sure that we send them a really proper thank you for their application, and that tell them that we are considering committees in the future, and we'd like to keep them in the mix for being committee members. And I don't know if you did that already, Susie, but I really strongly feel like we should do that.
I asked the mayor about that. I said, should I send, notes to these people? And he said, no, it's not necessary.
Oh, we have to.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it sounds
they're
good.
building bridges. Some of these people might be on in the future. or might have
There
wanna
are
be
probably
involved.
people already who are saying, "Oh my God, I applied for this and I haven't even heard anything." We have to send a really.
I mean, the
we
city
should
does
actually
not
start the
communicate.
letter by saying,
Okay. I'll be happy to do it.
"Okay, sorry, I feel seriously strongly about this."
Okay, no, I'm happy to do it. I'll do it tomorrow.
And
So
also
you do that because I mean, who has well, I guess that you, Susie, you have access to who were the people that apply. You have all the
Yeah, I
applications.
sent them all to Ward and Peter. So I have all the email addresses, and I'll send it out.
Can we? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be nitpicky about it, but can maybe the three of us look at the letter together? Because I just want to make sure that we're really opening up the door for them to be a part of us in the future, that we're really clear about we're going to be forming committees, and we really, we loved your application. We only had a few spots. I'm sorry, I don't mean to micromanage, Susie, but I do want to be a part of this conversation.
But it's
No,
not
that's
only
fine.
that we want them to be on committees, but that perhaps there would be an opportunity in the
the
future.
future,
for the
definitely.
commission.
No,
And
that's
it
fine.
goes-
I'll write a letter. I'll send it to you guys for approval. And
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
so
so
we can-
Susie, Peter, and Ward will gonna work on those feedback to the. Yeah, because if we are gonna have openings at the beginning of the year or mid-year or at the end of the year or whatever it is, I guess that we can pull from the bank that we already have, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have a question about that. How many, don't we have known openings coming up in the next month or something?
Yeah, that's what I was,
well,
Yeah.
I mean,
it-
under the impression.
if people have to leave their position first, they have to give the mayor a letter that says that they are stepping down from the commission
Mhm.
before we can
Okay,
entertain the notion of somebody else coming on.
okay, so I would like to take this moment just to say that I was invited to come on for another term. I was on there, I was one of the first ones on the commission. So I've been on here for 6 years. And I feel like I will continue to be involved, and I could happily work on like the Arts and Cultural Master Plan Committee, which I feel like that needs some, continued somebody who was in on it the first, but I would like to just say that I am not going to sign the letter agreeing to another term. And I really want to make sure that whoever is chosen, as we start to look at candidates, we need to make sure that we are representing all the communities of people that live here in Kingston. And I know I recommended a couple of people to fill out the forms. I don't know if they did, but I really want that to happen. I think that's going to be the most important thing as we go forward as a commission.
So Linda, I just want to let you know that Ward and I took a really hard look at all the applicants, and we came up with I thought, a really good list of some top candidates who actually represented a diversity and represented some other areas of the commission that we didn't have. No offense, Brett, love you, but it was already a done deal by the time that
Okay.
Ward and I got to chime
Yeah.
in on it. And so we have a lot of candidates that are queued up to step in,
Excellent.
and I think really qualified people who would really add a lot to this body. So I think we're ready to go with
Okay.
recommendations.
So
And
that means that I will send the letter to the mayor tomorrow saying that I respectfully decline this third term, and you all, and I will copy Susie and Maria Elena, since those are the point people, I guess. And I just want to make sure that that continues on, that we really build this out in a fair and equitable way.
Thank you, Linda. But remember that you are in the advisory board.
Yeah.
You don't need a letter for that. You are
No,
already.
I
in
do
the-
not need a letter for that. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
also wanted to somehow, reinforce the idea that I appreciate, Peter, that you and Ward were looking at those things, and in honor to the to our resolution, part of what we are tasked to do is to give advice as a commission. So I really hope that moving forward, the decisions are going to be made in the commission. We know that the final decision is on the mayor. Obviously, we cannot tell the mayor what to do, but we are tasked with that, with an advisor, role. So I would love to have also a discussion on that list, to see what you come up with, guys. And if anybody else, I guess that there is still more people out there that we can invite to apply. I also agree that we should tell people that it was not selected. Thank you very much. We appreciate you, and we have you, or may consider you for the future, because yeah, we need to keep doors open. And as Lynn said, we cannot break the bridge before. You never know what is
Also,
gonna happen.
we never saw the list.
Yeah, we never.
Commission
I don't
members
know.
never, I have no idea. I know people that were going to apply. I just have no idea who the list is. It seems like we should know that.
Yeah.
So Ward and I created a spreadsheet with a list of credentials that we were looking for, and we ended up doing sort of a ranking system and sorted it to folks who came up to the top. So we had a very thorough conversation about it, and we'd be happy to share.
Yeah, I'd love to see that, just so we know, that would be
Yeah,
great.
can we include that for the next agenda too, or you already have it for the next agenda, Peter?
It's already created and done.
Yeah, but I mean, to discuss that with the commission so we can see your.
Would this be done on one of our regular public meetings, or should this be done in a different kind of Zoom?
I
Oh,
think it
that's
could be in
true.
our next meeting, right? Because
I
there's no website now.
actually agree. I think it should be an executive session, because
That's true.
it's kind of a personnel thing. I
Yeah,
don't
it
think
makes
we should
sense,
be
it makes sense.
publicly
Yeah, I think
discussing-
it's a little strange to be just,
Right.
I totally
Right.
agree.
You're right, guys. You're right. I'm not gonna argue with you.
I mean, just to have Richard, be part of it, would make me so nervous.
We can do it as a part of our regular meeting, but we would go into executive session, stop the recording, have the
Yeah.
discussion, then come back into our regular meeting. So that's how we could do this in a way that
Right.
respects
Perfect,
privacy.
perfect. I
Maria,
appreciate
It's like
it.
you're in public office, Peter. It's so impressive.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Guys, and I don't want to be too harsh on you, but we have 6 minutes left. It doesn't seem that we can discuss much on that. And I have another meeting afterwards. So if we can be wrapping up this meeting, I guess that the preliminary, the discussion on the strategies is gonna be for next meeting too. But you wanted to say something, Lynn? Yes.
Yes, I wanted to quickly, and I had emailed Susie about this because I didn't have it put on the agenda, but I did want to quickly talk about the form-based code events. And there was a stakeholders meeting for the arts that Linda and Richard attended, but it was pretty not well attended, but they were there. And I just wanted to quickly say what that is. This is a team Dover Cole. They're completely redoing our zoning, which dates from 1961. And it's going to be a huge sea change for the city. It will be hopefully passed by the Common Council early next summer. But this was this huge amount of public events, walking tours, studio tours. They really interacted with the public. So at the arts meeting, and I don't know if you guys know what form-based code is, but it's basing zoning on what's there, on the design that exists, and knitting the city back together rather than just arbitrarily allowing certain square footage or separating the uses. So the things they talked about at the stakeholder meeting was, and Linda suggested an overlay district for the arts. They want to get rid of overlay districts because we have like 12 of them. So that's the kind of thing that would be integrated into the code, Linda. You know, whether it would be allowing pop-up spaces, or one of the things that came up is that right now, if you're an artist and you want to put a studio space in your backyard, you can't with the zoning. So the zoning will address some of these things. There was talk about spaces for public events. Ty Wilson talked about that, like being able to use Deep Stadium. There was talking about, I brought up the subject of public art and great locations for art. Would that be something in the zoning? And what else? Affordable workspace and live space for artists is obviously a huge problem. That was brought up. So that obviously affects zoning for housing and kinds of units that they would be allowing. And I think that was most of it. But, you know, it's really important that that they see that plan and the arts be part of the zoning, because as I say, they don't want to do overlay districts. They want to integrate the zoning into maybe certain parts of the city or certain kind of uses. So the process is starting, but it was really terrific what they did. They also did a presentation last night, their final one, and they showed a reconstruction of the Rondout rebuilt, you know, zoning for small business. And they took a lot of ideas from people. I read an article about this that is in Hudson Valley One that you can get.
Are they also collecting feedback from Engage Kingston or not anymore?
Well, they just left. They were doing this all week. But one issue was the city didn't do any outreach. It was really these two individuals.
Well, that was something, that's something that
the Imagine Kingston, I mean, they literally passed out 2,000 flyers, but the city, although, what's his name? Kevin Conte was involved. The city really didn't do a whole lot to promote it, but it's really important because it's going to determine the future look of the city.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Sorry, y'all, I got to jump right now.
Yeah.
Hi, Peter.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Peter. We'll stay in touch.
But I'd be happy to update people when I find out, like, is there a next public comment or what, if people want to, you know, they were supposed to contribute the past week.
They have their rezoning also in Engage Kingston.
Yeah, it's on there, but it's not, doesn't tell you a whole lot. I think the meetings are on there. They have some of the meetings.
But there is a survey. There is a survey that's still hanging here. So
yes,
I guess they are asking for feedback.
And yes, the survey, and also go to imaginekingston.com because that's much more comprehensive.
Anyway, guys, we need to, yes, Susie.
All right, I just want to say something real quickly. You know, I've been doing the minutes for the last 2 years, and I know I'm not the best at getting them out to everybody. I think now, since these meetings are recorded,
yes,
I think what I'm going to do, and I will do them for the next couple of months or whatever, I'm not going to do minutes. I'm going to do action items. And that, you know, it's like, if you want to go back and listen to the meeting and hear what was in context, fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, Peter said he'd do this, Lynn said she'd do this, Linda said she'd do that. And that's the way I'm going to do my
That's
report.
perfect.
Okay.
And no, Susie, that's beautiful. And the other thing that I was going to ask you, if you could send, if you could share the link of the recording in any case.
Well, I do that all the time. That's, you know, it's on the website. It's on the website. Yeah.
Okay.
And, or it's on the YouTube channel as well.
Okay,
So-
perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
So then I will look at their e-case because I was taking notes too, but just to double check that eventually nothing got lost, that will be great.
Yeah.
Are we going to
So-
continue with Zoom meeting?
For the unforeseen future, as far as I know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we cannot
I
meet
I
at
thought they
City
were
Hall
going back to
anymore?
having meetings at City Hall.
Well, the Common
I-
Council said it was going back to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it is. Okay. Well, even
Yeah.
if it does go back to meeting at City Hall, they will be recorded. And we can also have people join in from afar.
from afar. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're gonna be hybrid. So I want to honor everybody's time. It's 1 minute to 6. We have different, there's a few discussions in the agenda that are gonna wait until next meeting. Linda, are we gonna see you next meeting or?
I think it might be difficult because I will be
Hmm,
driving, or I might be in Oaxaca. I'm not sure.
Okay,
So
well,
maybe
but,
somebody could talk, maybe Melissa or Lisa could talk about, or not Melissa or Lisa, maybe Joe could join us.
That, okay, so that's what I'll
for
do.
the
I'll-
discussion and artwork.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good. I'll make a note of that. Thank you.
And if you can
Perfect.
join us, it would be wonderful to have you.
I will try. I just don't want to make any promises about,
No, promise.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, everyone, thank you very much. Again, Bren, welcome to the commission.
Thank you all.
Susie,
Appreciate it.
thank you for all what you do. Linda, we're gonna miss you sorely. And guys, I'm gonna see you next meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
thank you.